Good morning YouTube. Today is 7th of May 2020. It's an update what I'm trying to do to my aquaponics set actually. I'm looking at putting in another of this 5 feet tank. So this is a 5 by almost 2.5 by 2 feet tank. It's not that expensive. It's quite cost efficient. It's about 450 to 500 ringgit depending on where you get it. And I yet to order the tank. I already inquired from the shop that I usually purchase this item, and only next week they can start to take orders and do delivery. So in the time being, the most difficult part of an aquaponic setup, this one that I'm trying to do, is the racking. So the racking on this particular set was the first that I did, so it's not really that good in terms of its sizing. So I'm going to make it more compact and smaller, since this particular grow bed is only around 57 inches long. So the racking at the bottom, I can get away with only 45 inch in its length. I have spare a lot of surplus Dixon bar or angle iron, so just make a racking. So I think I can get away with the span of 33 inches. So I'm going to make a rack the size of 33 inches by around 45 inches. So the rack that I'm going to make is 33 by 45 by 12. The height is 12 inches. So the span here, or the length of the rack, will be 45 inches. So 45 inches for this length, then 33 inches for the span, 33 inches, and the height will be 12 inch. That's about it. And I think I can get away without that span in the center. It's a waste of time, because since I make it a bit more compact, I don't require that. It's much better to put a span on top here, so you can make it stronger. So now I'm using a span of 1, 2, and 3 that support the grow bed. The 3 is sufficient because the length is not that much, so the grow bed can be supported without much problem. Let's see how it is. So I have this cutter. I'm using this cutter, so it's easy for me to experiment as I do. And I'm going to put the new grow bed here, over here. So this is my old I'm going to put a new fish tank here, and later on I will add the grow bed slowly, because the most important thing for initial startup, I will put a fish tank over here to replace this nursery tank. It's not going to take much space anyway from the present nursery tank, but it's give me more water volume. So I'm going to replace this, putting a overflow from the main tank into the new tank, and just circulate water first if I do not have time to do a grow bed. But as I mentioned, that racking need to be done, because at least I can replace the existing rack and modify it to make it compact while I get another tank. So that's the thing I'm going to do today. And first I got to go to the hardware shop to get a box of screws. So the box of screws, these screws basically, these screws, the one that you need to hold the Dixon bar together, they sell in a bag. Buy it in a bag. It's about 5-6 ringgit, so it's cheap. Don't buy it loose. Loose is going to be expensive. Buy it in a bag. It's about 5-6 ringgit per bag. You will have about 100 screws. So that's what I recommend on this one. Right, I'm going to the hardware shop now, and continue later on. See how's the progress. Okay, just back from the hardware shop. So bought a bag of screws. Yeah, bag of screws. So this bag of screws for the Dixon bars probably cost about 6 ringgit. 100 of those. Paint, just to paint those rusty area, and probably got to use some wire brush to clean up the rust. Tools, 13mm spanner, socket set, that will do. And I have that measuring tape and marker for marking the Dixon bars for where to cut. As I mentioned, you have to cut at 3-inch intervals, because less than 3-inch intervals you will not be able to use it. So these are the Dixon bars. I got 2 bars which is not cut, full 120 inches long. Then there's another, the center part here is about 4 bars of 36 inches. So I got to cut those into 33 inches. This one shorter, can't make it. I think about 30 inches. So those I need to cut into the for the grow bed height, which is about, I'm going to cut it into 12 inches height. So that's the height of the rack. So I'm going to make the 2 longer piece first, which I need 4 of this. So I'm going to assemble the 4 longest part, the 2 longest parts. So all I need to do now, put the longer part to make the span. So I need to make the span now, and using the 33 inches part, and this is quite rusty, but I need to do a wire brushing afterward, and then do a painting. So this part is depend on how it's best. So okay, like this. So just I will quickly put a screw in, one of the screw in through hole. This one, because of I do not have enough 33-inch piece, I put an extension, but depend on these screws. If this screws is interrupting the grow bed, I will put a longer extension so I can put the screw somewhere else. Better. Alright, that's roughly how this look like. Very simple racking. I will take a video closer. Okay, that's the rack that I'm making, and I have some spare gutter grow bed and put it on top just to check the screw alignment, because as I showed in earlier segment, there are screws there are racks. This part I've joined, so there are screws protruding up. It may disturb the grow bed, so I may need to put a longer piece to join and have the screw somewhere at this point where it doesn't interfere with any of the grow bed. Anyway, it looks good. It's sufficient. By the way, this grow bed is a bit shorter than it's a bit shorter. Let's just measure this gutter grow bed. How long is this gutter grow bed? Because this is a surplus gutter grow bed. I'm not sure how long it is. Let's just measure it. Okay, sorry about the angle. So 50, about 50. Normally, if I cut the gutter, it should be around 57 inches. So 57 just nice, because it will have an overhang of about 6 inches on each side, so it's okay. So this gutter grow bed was a surplus gutter grow bed, gutters for my set, which used on the smaller tub. Okay. Rack is completed from leftovers Dixon bar or angle iron. Good enough. This is the second time I built for the set, and obviously as you do it the second time you have to make it much better. So next job is to just paint it up. Earlier I used an angle grinder to remove some of the sharp edges, and I will paint it up later this afternoon. Then I'll see, maybe over the weekend or tomorrow, let's see whether I have time, I will replace the rack on this fish tank, and then over the weekend I work on this rack to make it compact as this one. Okay, that's about it, how I do my simple rack, as you can see. And as I mentioned, this particular gutter is a bit too short. It was a leftover gutters and it's not really suitable to the fish tank that I'm going to use. So I'm going to buy another one of those 5 feet tank, and the new rack is going to be used for that tank. But before I got that particular fish tank, what I will do is to just replace the old rack that I have at the back, because I need to modify the old rack to make it more compact as the one that I'm building now, and also put some paint to make sure it can handle the rust situation that is, or replace few of the angle iron that is already a bit rusty. Okay, I think that's about it. It's a bit too hot now, and I will continue later on, and just need to tidy up the screws and make the rack squares, clean it up, paint it up, and put it at the back. So there's nothing special on that, it's just a simple work that I'm going to do. Right, once I got a new fish tank, my intent is to put lampam in it, and let's see. But the whole idea is I have one tank of lampam and one tank of this tilapia. So that's the intent. Sorry, a bit noisy. I'm not using the lavalier mic today because I'm moving around, and the lavalier that I have, the wireless lavalier that I have, is a bit noisy. So just do not use it at this time. Alright. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.